Hey guys, and welcome back to Tech Force. So today we'll be taking a look at an incredible piece of technology, the Dyson 360 Heurist robot vacuum. Now, at £800, does this robot vacuum do a good enough job for you to never have to pick up a Hoover ever again? Well, today we'll be taking a look at the pros and cons of this piece of tech, as well as comparing it to the Eufy G30 Edge. Another robot vacuum coming in at just under half the price of the Dyson, which I've previously reviewed on this channel, so feel free to go check it out. Okay, so let's jump straight into the contents of the box. So inside it's pretty simple. We get the robot vacuum itself, a few manuals, and then the dock and charging cable. Now, when compared to the Eufy G30 Edge, we do get less stuff inside the box. For example, the Eufy comes with a few spare parts, as well as other bits and bobs. But then again, the Dyson is far more advanced in terms of software, and therefore doesn't need some of these additional parts. Now, from my initial thoughts, I thought the design of the robot vacuum was quite strange and certainly different from the short circular black designs of the other robot vacuums on the market, such as the ones offered by Eufy and iRobot. But then again, comparing the design to other designs Dyson produces, their products have a more mechanical look and tend to stand out with quite a unique design. So the Dyson 360 Heurist really fits in among the other Dyson products. So I feel the design is certainly right. Along with this unique design, this robot vacuum also has a cool transparent compartment at the front, which actually allows you to see all of the dust and dirt the robot gathers. Now, I think this is a really nice feature, which really highlights the immense suction power this robot actually has. Okay, well, I suppose that brings us onto the cleaning power behind this Dyson vacuum. Now, like all Dyson Hoovers, which are known for their unique ability to create high suction power and remove all dust and germs from your house, the Dyson 360 Heurist can certainly do this. Inside this compact package, Dyson says there's a motor spinning at 78,000 revolutions per minute, which is extremely fast, and this generates this crazy suction power you can even hear when the robot vacuum is running. Now, if we compare this to the Eufy G30 Edge, you will certainly hear a significant difference in suction power, which is evident when you go to actually look at the results. The Dyson 360 Heurist is sucking up far more dirt than the Eufy, especially on carpets. Now, on carpets is pretty much the only place where the Eufy really lacks cleaning ability. On any hard floors, it seems to do well enough. But when it comes to carpets, it just doesn't have the suction power to really remove all the dust and dirt like the Dyson does. Now, in terms of suction, the Dyson 360 Heurist has 3 modes, just like the Eufy G30 Edge, which has 3 modes and then also a Boost IQ mode, which helps it to save power by altering modes automatically depending on which surface it's on. This Boost IQ mode isn't something which comes with the Dyson, which is a bit unfortunate as it would certainly help to conserve power, but it isn't a huge issue as you can still allocate different suction powers to different areas of the house through the app. Now, the 3 modes which come with the Dyson are Quiet, High and Max. So the Quiet mode is obviously meant to be quiet, but to be honest, compared to the Eufy G30 Edge, I wouldn't say it's very quiet. It's probably about the same sort of volume as the Eufy when the Eufy's on its max suction power. But this does show the level of power the Dyson actually has compared to the Eufy. Okay, so I mentioned that the Dyson can actually be allocated different modes for different areas of the house. Now, I guess you guys are probably wondering how this is done. So, through the app, you can actually allow your robot to map out the floor, and then once it's done and finished mapping everything out, you can split each segment into different rooms. For example, you can create a segment called living room, and then another one called kitchen, and then another one called dining room. So you can create tons of different segments to split up the floor, and each segment can be given a different cleaning mode. For example, on hard floors such as tiled or wooden floors, you only really need the vacuum to be set to quiet or high. Then when there's carpet, you can choose to use high or max. Another feature of this segmentation process is that you actually have the ability to draw a box to indicate an area where the robot vacuum must avoid. So if there's an area with a bunch of cables or something, you can draw a box around that area and it will be restricted, so the Dyson 360 Heurist will not go there when cleaning in that room. So this is definitely the most useful feature when it comes to robot vacuums in general. And well, this is certainly not a feature on most Eufy robot vacuums. And only really comes with the most expensive high-end RoboVacs. So if you wanted Eufy to clean a specific area, then you would have to create a boundary or use these magnetic strips which come with the Eufy called boundary strips, which come in order to corner certain areas off. Now personally, I feel like this is a lot of hassle and it's really annoying to set up. So if you're gonna purchase a robot vacuum, I highly recommend you get one with the ability to partition off certain rooms like the Dyson. Okay, now a few other things you can do through the app is actually schedule cleans for specific times on certain days. This is really useful and allows the Dyson to just go ahead and start cleaning when it has been scheduled to. So you could pop off to work and have it scheduled to clean the whole bottom floor whilst you're at work. And then when you come home, everywhere will be spotless. Now this is a great feature and just means you have less to worry about and won't have to clean your house at all, which I think is great unless you actually like cleaning. But who actually does? Now, one other feature you can utilize through the app is the ability to see where your robot vacuum has actually cleaned already. This is the mapping feature and is also available with the Eufy G30 Edge. But it's certainly useful to see how much the robot has done and how much is left to be done. Now, in terms of letting you know how long a certain clean will take, the Dyson 360 Heurist is actually very good. And once the area has been mapped out, the Dyson can tell you how long it will take to clean a bunch of areas on different suction modes. It gives you a precise number of hours and minutes, including the time it takes to go charge and the number of charges it will need. This is very useful because it allows you to schedule cleans to be performed by a specific time, just by knowing how long they will take. Now, if the vacuum's in the middle of a clean and you want it to stop, you can simply get it to return to its dock by hitting a button on the app. Now this is the same with the Eufy and it's just called the return to home button. It isn't anything extremely special, but it's definitely a very useful feature to have. Okay, so the Dyson seems to have a ton of great elements, but what's actually wrong with it? What do I think should be improved? So the number one aspect where this robot vacuum is lacking is definitely the battery life. Now, battery life is obviously an extremely important thing, and well, the Dyson 360 Heurist only runs for up to 75 minutes on quiet mode after a full charge. Now, if I'm honest, this isn't great. The Eufy G30 Edge can run for almost 2 hours on a single charge, and it also seems to cover area faster than Dyson, which does mean it isn't quite as thorough. But then it doesn't seem to do a bad job. It just lacks the ability to clean thoroughly on carpets. Okay, so to conclude, is the Dyson really worth buying for you? Now, the Dyson 360 Heurist doesn't have great battery life, but if I'm honest, this really depends on how you want to use it. So if you want to use it for most days of the week for just a quick scheduled clean while you're at work, then you can just go ahead and schedule it and let it charge when it needs to. If you're gone for a few hours, it will most certainly be done when you come back. But then if you have a specific cleaning day where you have a tight schedule and you want the whole floor to be cleaned quickly and thoroughly before you have to mop it afterwards or something, this is not really the ideal scenario for the Dyson 360 Heurist. So your decision as to whether you'll buy it or not is solely down to how you wish to use it and how your cleaning routine would normally work. But for £800 you are investing in an item which means that you don't have to spend countless hours each week vacuuming the house, and you can instead dedicate that time to something you enjoy. So personally, I would genuinely say it's worth buying, as although it does have a quite hefty price tag, it will save you a lot of time, and well, in the long term, it would work out to save you money. And then, why would you purchase this robot vacuum over others on the market? Well, compared to other vacuums on the market, the Dyson 360 Heurist seems to be the most thorough when it cleans, having about the same suction power as my vacuum. Okay, so if you enjoy this product, please go and check it by clicking on the link in the description below. And whilst you're there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.